This is the part 1 of Highlighter 101. That would be Highlighter 102. Excuse me, please. My name is Sidhikka, you can call me Sid, and I'm going to tell you everything that you need to know about highlighter. So, what's up, doll? How are you doing? I hope that intro is nice. Oh my god, kill me if it's not. Don't come for me too much in the comments. Anyway, so I got this comment asking. So I got this question actually asking me everything that I could tell about highlighters, what types of highlighters, what tones. I'm not getting into tones today because I have to talk about your skin undertone, and that's a whole video in itself. And I have to talk about how different type of undertones play a role in the color of the highlighter that you're going to take. And yeah, that's a separate video. So if you want to leave me a comment, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, please, okay. And yeah, I'll get into different types of highlighters. So these are the 5 major category groups of highlighters. You've got your pressed highlighter that comes in a powder format. This is a classic. Is the Mary. Oh my god, I hit pan. Fuck, this happened live right in front of you. I did not notice. I love this. Alright, so this is the Mary Luminizer. This is a stick highlighter. I'll talk about stick highlighters when I get to it, but god damn, when you have a dog, there's hair everywhere. Like, you don't even know when hair comes. So this is how a stick highlighter looks. Then you have your liquid. I have several other kinds of highlighters. They're in different colors, but I have chosen the exact same undertone to explain it a bit better in this video. So this is a liquid highlighter. This is a loose highlighter. I know it's in a ColourPop jar. The only reason why it's in it because I actually got it from a friend specifically for this video. So she gave me some of her loose highlighter. You have cream highlighter. So this is ColourPop's Flexitarian, extremely blinding, but an absolutely gorgeous highlight if you can see the reflection. So let's get into application. Now the easiest thing for you to do is grab a powder highlighter and put that on your cheek and bam, you're done, you're golden, right? But what sort of brush? These are the 4 main categories of brushes that you would be needing if you're wanting to have all of these highlighters. You only need 1 or 2 at max, to be very honest. I have all of them because I have a problem, but no, actually you don't need all of them. So this is a fan brush. You must have seen it before. It's pretty common. This is very good for powder products, alright? So you just put it on the high point and you get a very defined strip of highlight. Now, I don't use this. This was very popular when the blinding highlighter was popular. I prefer a natural look. I don't like people to be like, oh, look at a stripe on her face. Okay, that's not my vibe. Then this is like a dense eyeshadow brush. Alright, it's nice also, frankly. I don't use this again because it's for a very tippy-toppy highlight. So let's say if I'm already got like a very nice glow on my face, right? Let's say I've used a liquid highlighter and I've just illuminated this entire region. I'll put a very blinding highlight just on the very top using a precise brush like this, but this is basically for crease work for me. Some people also use a very nice thick brush. This could be also used for liquids, but yeah, I don't use a thick brush. Like, that's just not my jam. I'm not going to use a thick brush. What I use is this. It's not as soft as other brushes, and again, I'm sorry, my brush is dirty. It's kind of hard, it's a bit stiff, so it really is good at buffing stuff out. So if you need to buff, you can do it. Now let's start from best to worst and also talk about skin types when it comes to what sort of highlighter you should be using. If you're a dry person, like, or you're in the summers, I know people are like, use cream products, but frankly powder is the way to go, especially if you're oily. Powder highlighters are going to stay on your skin, and because it's powder, you're not going to be feeling kind of icky or it's heavy, and your skin's gonna you know, work well with it. So if you're using a loose highlighter or if you're using a powder press highlighter, it's going to be great. I use a dense brush. I've shown it in the demonstration. The thing is that with powder products, some of them tend to fade. Like this does not. This is amazing. It stays for like up to 6 to 8 hours. It's pretty good. Loose highlighters, I'll tell you what the thing is. They don't fade easy, but they brush off pretty easily. So throughout the day, you could notice, depending on the product, some powder highlighter flecks just on your cheeks. Alright. Now, the way to actually apply it also, so that you don't fuck your entire face up. Take some from the lid, or you know, you might be having the mechanism which you shake the stuff inside the lid. You keep buffing and swirling inside the cap so that your brush picks up a even amount and then when you put it on your cheeks it's all even. Otherwise you're gonna be in for a mess, like a really bad mess. Now if you have normal to dry skin and you're or you're in the winter time, like I've got normal to oily skin in the summer, so mostly normal. This winter is apparently a bit dry. I don't know why. I went to Rajasthan and my skin's just been dry since. Cream to powder or just cream and liquid is the way to go. I actually don't like this Beam Me Up for the simple reason that it dries too fast. So how do you apply these? Powder is very simple. When you're applying cream and you find it difficult to apply a cream highlighter, what you can do is you can first take the cream. If you are not using a dense brush that is kind of stiff and applying it on the side of the brush and then, you know, putting it wherever is required, you can use a finger. Your finger will warm up the product. So just use a finger and then after that apply it wherever you need to and buff it into your skin and it will give a beautiful sheen. Creams are very easy, like they're the best thing. So if you're a beginner in makeup and you want it to look like a natural radiant finish, cream is great. And creams, like especially this kind, you can put over your existing makeup. So even if you're powdered, so when you're using a liquid you cannot powder, all right, you have to wait when you're using a liquid. But with creams it's kind of simple, like I've got powder and everything on my face and I'll just put the cream on top, and this is flexitarian so it's very blinding. I don't need more highlight, but why not? Putting creams on top of powder is fine. You don't want to put a liquid on top of powder. How to use a liquid. In the demonstration you can see the most important thing is for you to shake the bottle pretty well. Like you really need to give it a good shake, get all the liquid going because it separates inside the bottle. Now frankly, if you can't get W7's Beam Me Up, I much prefer Hello Gilded Glow from Wet n Wild. Now how you apply a liquid is very simple. You take the stopper out or like the dropper out, and then like over here you have a spatula. You just dot it on your face and then you either buff with your finger or with a brush, and then you have to go over it with a sponge because the sponge actually diffuses the entire area and it looks really nice. So over here, like I know my hand already has highlighter on it, but if suppose you would just need a little bit, and it goes really far and it also dries pretty instantly. So don't powder your face and just, you know, use it, and again it's going to give you a nice sheen all over your hand. Now when it comes to sticks, I hate them. They're horrible. First up, they're very dry, so unless and until you're very oily you cannot use this, because first up you need to warm it up on the back of your hand. Like even if you see Fenty Beauty and the matchsticks, they always are like, you know, warm the matchsticks on the back of your hand and then after that you know, use it and then you apply it wherever you have to apply it. Alright, and the issue is that it dries so fast and it looks so heavy on the skin. Like I don't know if you can see my palm and understand. It looks pretty but it's very thick, and when it dries down, because it's a cream stick becoming a powder, it brings out texture more than anything. Like if you want to talk about texture rating, you've got creams and liquids, they amplify the texture the least. Then after that, powder products, and then sticks. Sticks really bring out the texture. Like I've not seen one person who's like, oh, let me draw a highlight on your face. It does not look good. So if you've got a highlighter stick and you need to use it on your body, it looks beautiful as a body illuminator, but not otherwise. Now I will talk a little bit about tones of highlighter before I go forward. You've got two major categories. You've got silver reflects and you have got golden reflects. Now if you can see, okay, this is a silver reflect and this is a gold reflect. This is a silver and this is your gold. This highlighter is kind of pink, so it's picking up a bit pink on my arm, but here you go, gold and silver. Okay, this is going to be very complicated, but the thing is that undertones matter to the reflect, and this overall silver reflect really shines and beams bright. Because if you're going to see Flexitarian is one of the most blinding highlighters, or Marie Luminizer, they have a silver shift to them. Over here we've got, I guess this was Snow something from Jeffree Star Cosmetics, and I mean Jeffree Star Cosmetics has blinding highlighters as well. Like Screen Frost are very blinding, but then the thing is the particle of glitter is very big. Like the mica particles are very huge. Now all highlighters have mica particles in them. Some of them are big, some of them are small. I personally like very nice shiny highlighters that other beauty gurus or other beauty channels would call. It's a beautiful sheen, finely milled, very natural and glowy. It gives a dewy look to the skin. The moment you hear the words like beaming highlighter, blinding, very reflective, the particles tend to become bigger of your said highlighter, and it looks heavy on the skin. Not only does it look heavy, it transfers down. So Jeffree Star does transfer a lot. Like if you're going to apply as highlighter, you'll see random specks of glitter on your skin later on in the day. Again, I was not talking and reviewing highlighters right now, I was just explaining the undertones. So if you want a really blinding highlighter for an Indian skin tone, find something with a silver reflect, or if you're very fair in general, you should prefer a silver reflect. But if suppose you're slightly on the darker side of your complexion, or you want something natural, go for something that has a golden reflect, or that has a skin tone base to its color. For example, this Hello Halo, it's in Gilded Glow. It's, I guess, pretty dark, but the reason why I like it, there's a skin tint to it that actually, you know, even though it has a silver reflect, it kind of darkens the formula. So when you're putting it on your skin, the silver reflect plus the slight darker base helps give a very natural look. So Beam Me Up, as it has a pink color base, even though it's my skin tone, it's got a pink color base and I'm yellow in my undertone. I don't know if I'm making sense to you. I'll have to make a whole other video on it. But the main concept, if you're yellow, you're using a pink color base highlighter, it's going to look very blinding. If you're pink and you're using a white gold sort of a highlighter, it's going to look more blinding. Does that make sense? I need models and I need to demonstrate it, but that's the concept. So on my skin, Beam Me Up looks very blinding, and this looks absolutely natural, and I love this way more. And also the dry down of them is pretty different. Like Beam Me Up dries up pretty fast and it looks like a strip on your face. Gilded Glow is very natural. So I hope I broke it down for you. For dry skin, I'm going to suggest liquids and creams throughout. For oily skin, powders are the best. If you want a very natural finish in general, I'll suggest cream products. Whether it's a cream contour, cream highlighter, cream blush, cream everything, cream is really good. Liquids, now again, liquids are great for dry skin people, but it depends on how the formula dries on your skin. Some liquid products do not dry very fast, so you need to blend it out in time. But in general, creams are the way to go. Now if you have very oily skin, go for powders, go for loose powders. But if you're using a loose powder, setting it on top of a wet base will help. Let's say you use your setting spray, and I'm not applying more highlighter, but I'm giving an example. Like you use a setting spray, and then after that, when your skin is still wet, like I'm talking, it's wet right now, I would go in with a highlighter, swirl it in the brush and apply on my cheek and buff it in. This is the best time because again, your skin is wet. The highlighter will stick to it and grab to it instead of just falling off by the end of the day. And if by the end of the day you feel that you've applied too much highlighter, you can take a sponge, take the back of your sponge and press over it to help reduce the shine. Or the other thing I love to do is, if I've gone overboard on my highlighter, is that I take a matte blush. Any matte blush will do. Just make sure it's matte again, and buff over the entire area really well so that it seems as if you're glowing from within. But let's say you're still finding it very blinding. Again, take some loose powder, pressed powder, whatever you feel comfortable with, on a brush. Put your brush in, and then after that buff it on your skin. Okay, I hope this is helpful. I'll demonstrate an entire other video talking about different color highlighters, like you've got pink highlighters and purple highlighters. This is the Soft Nails X Revolution palette. So pink and purple are mostly the most common ones that you're going to find in the market, and maybe different color highlighters. So this is the Alchemist palette from Kat Von D. So that was the Alchemist palette, and here are the 4 swatched. You've got another pink highlighter, another purple highlighter, a green one and a blue one. How you can wear it apart from your eyes, like on your face, and make it wearable, and just in general different kind of undertones. I hope if you can see, the green one has more of a gold shift and like a gold reflect, even though there's some gold and silver, and the blue one is completely silver. The pink one is kind of gold, I don't know if you guys can understand this right now. I'll have to make a separate video on it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. You found it informative. There's something you could learn from it. You got the basics of how you should use highlighter, your application methods, and which skin tone it works for the most. And yeah, I shall see you guys in my next video. Please comment and tell me what you want to see. And subscribe to my second channel. My main channel actually. This is my second channel. It's my beauty channel. So yeah, okay, I shall see you guys in the next one. Bye.